Hello. Hello, Merch Nerds. Welcome to the first Merch Nerd Live. This is where we can geek out together about merch in general. I'm going to be talking through different trends, doing merch reviews, talking about anything related to what's going on in the world, how you can use that to strengthen your personal brand, or to look at personal brands and see how they use merch, and just really get nerdy on stuff. Now, speaking about nerdy and stuff, Alex Ramosi just broke the Guinness World Record for the most nonfiction books sold in 24 hours. All of the other nonfiction book titles were held by politicians, which he, as an entrepreneur, wanted to blow past that because honestly, 90% of businesses in the country come from small businesses. Entrepreneurs are the ones on the leading edge making change. Yeah, we should have one of us in the top 5. And now, not only is he number 1, his book was number 1 by a huge margin, at least twice the current number 2 spot. So it's going to be a while before somebody else knocks him off that pedestal. And honestly, there's a good chance he will be the one to knock himself off that pedestal. But that's merch. He has written 3 books. This latest one, obviously, his Guinness World Record book. He has sold, up to this point, I think 3.35 million books in 4 days. And I know because he is currently live answering questions, going through some of his book topics and reading some of it as he keeps running up that counter. So by selling 3 million books, not only has he made money, he has dramatically elevated his personal brand and the brand of his company. That's what merch can do. And that's what I'm obsessed with. That's what I've been interested in for years, been kind of tracking for years, doing trainings on various types of merch. And now I am going to start geeking out with you about it. And this is everything from Michael's latest Halloween offerings, what Disney is selling, to what Pharrell and Louis Vuitton did on the runway, what's up with streetwear, what's the latest font combination, what does Pinterest say is a trend? Anything that has to do with trends that affects fashion, homeware, accessories, habits, it is fair game. Again, we're going to look at specific brands and do merch breakdowns. When there are releases, we're going to go through that. When Taylor Swift drops her merch associated with her new album, you can be sure we're going to talk about that. But even small brands, small creators, really, like I said, everything is fair game. As we go along, we'll see what you're interested in, what you bring to me, what I find. I like to take inspiration from all different sources. So, I like to poke my nose into all the different interests in the world and just kind of see what's out there. But that's what we're about. And you are going to be able to join me a lot because I have set myself a challenge of going live every day through the rest of the quarter to really both personally get over the fear of going live, get used to the tech of going live, and build my just live sort of skill set, but also really build some momentum around this. Hopefully start to find the other merch nerds out there. Who wants to talk about the difference for a tri-blend t-shirt and a heathered t-shirt and cotton weight and how that plays out with how a t-shirt fits you and necklines? Yeah, we're going to geek out about some of that stuff. At the same time, we're also going to geek out about what Royal Caribbean's merch and Disney's merch has in common and how that can play into something you might want to offer, how they're doing kind of the logo tees, how kind of vintage sports fashion is coming back, but also sort of low-key money fashion, and how they're pulling from historic Black country clubs in an interesting way. So varsity is still a trend, but in a kind of vintage, rich way. versus a streetwear, sportswear way. And honestly, back to the amazing woman herself, Taylor Swift. She is coming in with some interesting color schemes. She's coming in with a kind of continuation of the theme of showgirl, glitz and glam. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. I think we're really going to take a deep dive into Beyonce, Chappell Roan, Taylor Swift, even Sabrina Carpenter, kind of really leaning into this showgirl, rhinestone cowboy. Dolly Parton started it, or was one of the early greats of it. But how that has been playing out and how we might see that continue to play out, especially since Taylor Swift is leaning on that same vibe. And how is that going to affect everything else? How is that going to affect the next Target fashion launch? How is that going to affect Christmas? How is that going to affect spring, summer 2026? So that's what we do here. This is a short one. They might be short for the next few days, but hopefully as you join me and you bring your trends, the things you've been seeing, we can talk about it all. So like I said, very little, like basically everything is fair game. Everything is a fun conversation to talk about what's happening in the world of fashion, general lifestyle trends, and then how does that play out for building loyalty, building relationships, building memories, all the things that merch can do. So welcome to the first, but not the last, Merch Nerd Live. I'm Brenna, I'm the Merch Nerd, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye.